Yeah, I think the one thing that strikes me most, if you know Hovind, he's ridiculously predictable. This guy has a pattern. He has material he presents over and over and over again. So you can always be anticipating what he's going to do. And you got to catch him when he makes a jump, not let him rattle on 5 or 6 or 10 times down the road, because it's much harder to catch up with a misstatement from him. The one thing that I would really caution in all debating contexts with any anti-evolutionist or just in general conversation is to keep focused on his sources. When he makes an assertion on something, you got to prime him on it and says who, and ask him, well, what have you read on this? And in fact, he's really behind the curve. I was really struck, and so was Jade, by the fact that he was still defending the old 1970s creationism version of plate tectonics, where they don't like plate tectonics. And ironically, young Earth creationists have moved on. And that would be an opportunity to reveal how far behind the curve this guy was. Yeah. It doesn't read modern creationist material. He's in that Walter Brown set, and so you can see the kinds of material. He's still trotting out polystrate fossils. You know, I was going to ask, like, Joe, where's an example? That was an area that really is a great opportunity for education, because polystrate fossils occur typically in pyroclastic flows. Yellowstone is an example of that. Joggins Hill is another example of that. And you can see very specific deposits of how things come down. A tree, over here we get to some extent at a much slower range, because we've had some sea flooding that has killed off a forest over on the coast from a tsunami from one of the Cascadia slippages, and you still got the tree stumps there sticking up, and portions of those are inevitably going to get filled in with sediment if they last there long enough. If they, particularly when there's no bacteria to get rid of them, you've got something will go up. But the one area where you did hit it correctly is there are no examples of polystrates that actually stick up through a long stretch of geologic column. But the thing is, yeah. Oh, I don't know why.
Well, James was the only one talking, so they should only be able to hear him.
Right. I hear some radio or TV in the background of somebody there.
Yeah, I don't have anything on. Yeah, let me jump back out and jump back again just to make sure it's some of my setting.
I wonder if they hear any of the rest of us.
Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me talking?
Hello.
Huh. Okay, what I'm hearing is I'm hearing the time delay in the background here somehow. Or maybe it have it. I don't have it. I can hear you. I don't have it on my channel.
And I can hear Bill.
Huh. Yeah.
More amazing thing. How many atheists does it handle to do a live feed?
Okay, Bill's coming through. I came through. Yeah. I think James is too.
James, you know, on the polystrate trees, one of the major examples that they usually give are actually from alluvial floodplains. We have the Joggins Formation up in Nova Scotia, and there's another one in Tennessee, and those were areas that were subject to massive annual flooding, where tree stumps, that type of thing, would roll down a river, be deposited at the river mouth, and covered within 2 or 3 years of sediment. The big thing is that the creationists say, well, geologists believe these layers took millions of years, where we explained back in the 1870s that it doesn't take millions. So it's more than just pyroclastic flows. Some of it is that, but those alluvial floodplains are actually the major examples that they use, being the Joggins Formation in Nova Scotia is #1 example you see.
Now, I'm wondering, I've only heard a couple of the debates with Hovind, but one question to me keeps coming up, and I haven't heard it addressed, is why does he push a global flood when there are still civilizations older than when the flood took place, according to his claim, that show no record of it?
Oh, that's easy. He doesn't know about that, and he never looks. And nobody he would have ever read in the pays attention to that. None of the creationists are Egyptologists. They are not sinologists. They don't pay attention to that stuff. Once in a while, they'll kind of bump into the sideline, but they still think the Egyptians have a flood legend. So given that Kent's brain congealed in the 1970s, he's going to be miles away from this. There are actually some modern creationists. I can never remember his stupid name. It starts with a D.
Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. You guys can hear me. You can't hear the desktop audio, right?